If you're bullish on the euro, you might want to rethink that. And if you're bearish, you probably aren't bearish enough. And I'll show you why in today's video. We're going to take a look at the euro, the DXY, and even bond yields, because the bond market has been signaling for a while now that the US dollar could be headed higher. So my name is Justin Bennett, full-time trader and founder of Daily Price Action. As always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So let's take a look first at the Euro USD here on the daily time frame. So we've talked about this many times, and that is the change of character that occurred back here. So looking here at the daily chart, you can see that this change of character on the close below here, what this signals is the acceptance below this low following this BOS. So the way you find this low, you get the BOS above, okay, this high over here, and the external point within this is this low down here. Now, once we got the close below, this showed you acceptance below here and also weakness from the euro. Now, since this time though, like I always say, just because a market flips bearish like this does not make it a sell, okay? It does not make it a short, because what you'll notice is that back here we had this imbalance, we had an open gap, and during this run up, before we even came up here, I was talking about the potential for the mitigation of this area back here. Okay, so we know that all in all, this market, at least from the chart, from the daily time frame, is bearish based on this change of character. Furthermore, you can see where within the context of this descending channel now, we have the potential for the euro forming this rounded top. So for me, as long as this is the case, I'm looking for shorts. Now, if we go into a 4-hour time frame, what you'll notice here is that you can make the case that based on this move back here, okay, so we had this break above, we had this pullback, even though this was very shallow, you could call this here a BOS. And now that we've had a close below this low, we do have a change of character. Okay, so in my opinion here, looking at the euro, you can see where off of this high, we are starting to get these lower highs and lower lows. So I'm only looking for shorts here. Okay, we've got that daily bearish change of character. We have the market coming off of this channel resistance up here. And now we have this right here on the 4-hour time frame. So the question now is, do we see the euro come up here toward imbalances like this back here? Okay, so notice this drop, this area back here, or potentially even a bit higher. That is the question. And the answer to that is not just guessing. It's not just assuming that we are going to get it. It's looking at the lower time frames. Okay, because looking at the 15-minute chart, what you can see here is that today here on Monday, we have so far higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so in my opinion, if we are going to get the euro moving up here into imbalances, for example, like this back here, if we are going to get this market moving back here toward this area, testing lows like this, then this uptrend that started on Monday really, in my opinion, has to hold, okay? So if we see the euro now take out this level down here at 1.1626, if we get a close below here, okay, so acceptance below this, then this right here is starting to look weak, okay? And from that point, in my opinion, we probably get a rotation lower, at least down here toward the lows. Now, if we get acceptance below this low down here, the Monday low, then at that point, we are probably trending lower for the euro down here toward imbalances like these that we've talked about. So this one down here around 115.70, okay? And then there's another pocket down here around 114.70. But again, if this is going to be bearish here, okay, so if this is going to be bearish, which I think it is, then pockets like this up here are the ones to watch, specifically lows like this here, okay? So right around 1.17, if we were to get this up here followed by that lower time frame shift, then that could be bearish toward areas like this down here. Now, again, though, I have to stress that if on the 15-minute chart, we were to see the euro give up lows like this here, so this one here at 116.26, then that, of course, would start to look weak again here for the euro, okay? Now, looking at the DXY, all right, we talked about this over the weekend, and what I mentioned there in the SMC Outlook video was to expect a pullback from the US dollar early this week, okay? And a lot of that had to do with what was happening here, the US dollar pushing into these highs on Friday. It also had to do with the bond market, with yields. Because if you look at yields, okay, so let's look at the US 10-year here, and you can see where this market is on the verge of breaking out, potentially broken out, has broken out on Friday. Okay, so you can see this daily candle up here. This technically did break the top of this multi-year consolidation. Now, the reason that we could get a pullback though from yields and the US dollar, which by the way, the US 10-year and the US dollar, this is since May 1st. You can see on the 1-hour time frame, these are basically the same market. I mean, the US dollar has been tracking yields very closely. It typically does, but it has been tracking it extremely closely here in May. And so the point is that if the US 10-year does pull back toward levels like this here, possibly these highs, okay, if we do get a pullback from yields, then that right there could be a pullback from the US dollar as well. However, with that said, I am expecting a temporary pullback. If we get a pullback from yields, if we get a pullback from the US dollar, I am expecting that to be temporary. I am still bullish on this market. So any pullback from the USD here, at least for me, is going to be bullish. Okay. Now from the DXY chart, you can see where we do have imbalances like this back here following this change of character. We also have imbalances like this back here as well. So we talked about this in the SMC outlook. And again, this goes back to not just guessing. Okay. We're not just guessing, will we see this down here or will we see this down here? Because what it comes down to is if we go to, let's say, a 15-minute chart. Okay. So you can see this here, that if we were to get the DXY taking out highs like this up here and this one up here, then this is a continuation of this move and we're not likely to get that pullback. Now, on the other hand, if we continue to see these lower highs and lower lows, then in this case, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the market to mitigate areas like this back here, possibly lower. And all I'm looking for, guys, is a shift. Okay, I want to see the market give me a change of character where we get higher or lower highs and lower lows, and then all of a sudden move into higher highs and higher lows. So this right here, right? You get the BOS, you get the change of character, and then you're looking to buy this. Okay. So that's all I'm looking for from the DXY right now. And so far it's inconclusive in terms of whether or not this is going to be the bottom or we get the push down here into areas like this. Okay. And possibly even lower. But for me, like I said over the weekend, any pullbacks here, in my opinion, I'm treating as buying opportunities. It's just a matter of staying patient though, waiting for that pullback to materialize, waiting for the pullback to play out. And we use SMT in order to time that pullback. Okay, so flipping back to the euro, guys, I am still bearish on this market, but right now here on Monday, guys, I am just waiting to see if we get the pushback here into lows like this to mitigate imbalances like this here, followed by that lower time frame change of character. If we get that, then I am looking for shorts, down there toward, like I said, 115.70 and 114.70. The only way that I'm going to turn bullish on this market, and even then it would be temporary, would be if we see the euro come up here and take out highs like this. Okay. If we start to go from making lower highs and lower lows and take out lows or highs like this up here around 118, then that of course could start to look bullish. But as long as we are below these lows back here from last week, then I am looking for shorts only. Keep it locked in here, subscribe to the channel, and also check out the free video course right here. That's going to show you exactly how I trade SMC full time. It's completely free. Beyond that, you can join us in Discord if you want. Until next time, trade well. I will talk to you again tomorrow.